Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I just got some mail. So, as usual, I'm going to do a quick unboxing because this is an exciting knife. Helping me unbox today is my Maximet Para 3 because I am in like gym pants and it's a nice knife to have on me around the house today. Here's your first clue. This is from Quietcarry. Now, I've seen a few other people already do some videos of these. I've been following Quietcarry on Instagram for a very long time. I've wanted their, what's it called? It's the little Warncliffe, the IQ. I've wanted the IQ for a long time. I just think it's a really cool looking knife. But they're a little more expensive than I was comfortable paying, not having handled a Quietcarry before. I've heard good things, but anywho, now Quietcarry has a couple of new offerings or newer offerings, and this is the newest one. As you can see, this box is pretty small. This is a very small EDC focused knife, and its crowning feature is that it is in Vanex super clean steel. Let's see if I can go ahead and just pull it out and show you. Now, this is the Waypoint. They also offer the Drift in the same steel, but that one is a frame lock and a pretty different design compared to this one. This is a very classically shaped pocket knife. It's actually a liner lock, even though it's titanium on both sides. But the liner is LC200N, the same steel that you would find on the blade of the Spidey Chef. And the blade steel on here, like I said, is Vanex super clean. This one is the blasted finish. I was going to buy one of these new. I was planning to do it on Monday, and then I think it was Saturday or Sunday. My buddy Sean, who is on YouTube as Geared Toward Gear, happened to pick one of these up, and for his hand it just wasn't right. So he decided to let it go, and I was able to save a few bucks compared to ordering it straight from Quietcarry, and it's still brand new in box. So I am very happy that I was able to get it a little bit cheaper than I was already planning on buying it in the exact spec I was planning on buying anyways. First impressions from my hands, these ergos feel really good. It's got a wire clip, which I really dig. Wire clips not only I think look great in the pocket, but they don't have any sharp edges or anything like that. They generally have like a little bit of give to them, so it feels nice in my hand that way. This, I don't know if you want to call it a choil or groove, finger groove, whatever you want to call that, for the size of my finger, works great. It feels nice in hammer grip. More importantly, for me, I use saber grip more. It feels great in saber grip. The jimping is super small, which I really like. It's not harsh at all, and it's put a little bit forward compared to where a lot of people do it. I find a lot of knives put it right where the spine meets the handles, and it even kind of, a lot of them have jimping on the handles, like half handle, half spine of the knife. I don't really like that. My thumb doesn't go there when I'm actually using a knife. My thumb travels farther forward than that. So I like that they've done that. Someone else who does that really well is like Giant Mouse knives. They usually put their jimping even farther forward than this, frankly. But yeah, the spine is nicely kind of chamfered. It's got all the corners taken off. This is a nice hollow grind. The edge is very, very sharp. Got a great tip on it. It's kind of a reverse tanto drop point, I guess you would call it. The action, it's definitely not like a, as you can tell, it doesn't want to drop shut, but on deployment, it's fantastic. That feels really good on deployment. The detent is nice and crisp, very solid. I'm getting like just a nice kind of like tangible, the spot where it breaks feels really clean, really good. But yeah, obviously the philosophy behind this knife being constructed out of these materials is that this thing is essentially waterproof. I can't say it would never rust because I haven't tested it at all. I just pulled it out of the box. But with Vanex Super Clean, it's about as corrosion resistant as you can get. LC200N for the liner, also crazy rust resistant. Titanium's not going to rust on me. I'm pretty sure they're using hardware that's like marine grade or something. If you want the intense specs on this knife, you can look on their website or at someone else's tabletop review video, but this sucker is about as water resistant as it can get. So as we're coming into summer and my pockets tend to sweat quite a bit, especially if I'm hiking or being active, this will be a great option. Also going to the beach, taking it outdoors, all kinds of stuff, even like for little food prep tasks and stuff. You can literally just clean this in the sink, close it up and put it back in your pocket, which is really, really cool to me. And then beyond that, if you're not super familiar with VanX Super Clean, steels like LC200N, I'm borrowing a Spidey Chef in LC200N right now. Really great steel. Edge retention, though, it's okay. It's not bad. It's no low-end steel in terms of edge retention. But it's also no M390 or anything like that. From the testing I've seen other people do on VanX Super Clean, and according to the charts and all that, you're getting edge performance or edge lastiness. That's the wrong word. Your edge is going to last about as long or more than steels like M390. And I've seen Cedric and Ada do a pretty good amount of testing on VanX from Quietcarry, and he's gotten amazing results in his testing. So I'll be interested to see as more and more people keep testing this steel. I'm probably not gonna like beat on this knife, but this is something that I've been really excited to get to actually start carrying a ton. Because if you think about what makes like a perfect EDC knife, not that I necessarily think something exists, I think it's probably subjective and different for different people and their needs and their environment and what they cut and all that. But when I think of an ideal EDC knife, I think of something a lot like this. Having total corrosion resistance while having awesome edge performance, a good hollow grind, a very usable blade shape. This size is great. It's between 3 and 3.5 inches of blade length. The handle for my hand fits all 4 fingers great without having a bunch of extra. The whole profile is very slim and small in this direction and thin this direction. So in the pocket, I imagine, obviously it hasn't been in my pocket yet, I imagine this thing is going to be stellar in pocket. That deployment is a ton of fun. For me, that's something that is important. One of the things that I don't like about knives like the Sebenza is I don't really like the action. This is also on washers. This is also a thumb stud, but the detent on this and the way that it breaks feels so much more enjoyable to me. I guess you'd have to have them side by side to feel that difference, but yeah, this thing ought to be fantastic. The lockup is totally solid, forward and back, side to side. I can't feel any movement. The tolerances seem really tight. This looks like it may be a hair favoring the show side, but maybe I'll adjust the pivot and that'll come right out. Maybe not. Even if not, that's not a deal breaker for me, frankly. I think centering is nice, but I'm not a Nazi about it. Anywho, this is really cool. This is the Quietcarry Drift in VanX Super Clean, and I am really excited to start carrying and using this. I'll probably have a couple of videos. I'll probably do kind of a couple of days into it, how it's been pocketing, how it's been cutting, and then after I've had it at least a week, I'll do a full review. But I don't want to do it before that because I want to really make sure I've kind of put this knife through the proper paces to know exactly what I'm dealing with here. But first impressions are awesome. Frankly, I really wanted to like this knife, and that can be a little dangerous for me. Sometimes if my expectations are too high, then it's just, once I get the knife, it's kind of a disappointment. So I'm really relieved that I've got this out of box and that for my hand, it fits great, that the fit and finish seems really, really nice. The tolerances seem awesome. Yeah, everything about this on the surface, I'm ready to get behind. So we'll check in soon here with some updated results as I'm using it, but this is the Waypoint. Thanks for checking it out with me.